actually pull out something quite interesting. And I like the way that it crosses that boundary without prescribing. This is how you learn to be good at this, so this is the boxes you tick so that I can tell you that you've done well in this game. It just drags it out of you. So that's my main rant with the interactivity design, basically. And the spoons of joy. Would anybody like to just volunteer?
You'll never find your companions or your way out.
It's very simple. Go ahead. We're only closing circuits, so people can play us like a human xylophone, and they can play us with any metal extension of our hands. And that is a very good way of breaking down the fact that a lot of people are quite frightened of interaction as well. It's just, because with this, strangely actually, it's a bit human, touching the hand. English people like a couple of centimetres of remove. They're much, much more comfortable with that. So I'll just say a little brief thing about the tech setup as well. This is a schematic of it. This is a slave suit. It's dropping data down the umbilical cord, which is why we needed to have all of this business of having a harness that would protect the data cord. And then the master suit is encoding. We've got a MIDI encoder on the back. There is a wireless MIDI over to the laptop. And in the program, you've basically got a volume threshold trigger to start sample recording with a pre-roll function on it that will look back in time and get the beginning of the transient, so you can get a nice, clean, automatically clean sample without a gap in the beginning or whatever. Which should be so simple that you don't notice it's happening. It's surprisingly hard to get the programming right, nonetheless. Second thing, this is one of the things which makes it a little bit more interesting from a staging or a theatrical or a sideshow point of view, is that this isn't a simple, we're wearing a drum kit without any touch sensitivity situation. There's 16 patches across us, but the system can recognize who's doing the touching. So you've actually got 32 combinations pulled out of 16 patches. So that's what I've tried to represent there. The big robots are our image of ourselves. The little robots are the other person's image of us. So if I touch a patch, that's quite different from Oster's perspective of that patch. Dramatically, that's quite interesting because you can then create a dialogue instead of just wearing an instrument. You have a metaphor for interaction. You have a metaphor for perspective-based stuff. So I could have one sonic character made of sound effects, and Oster could have a completely different one. And we're pulling out the same patches. It's quite easy to start building up something more dramatic out of that, as opposed to just jamming on what is otherwise a crude synthesizer, a crude sampler.